Jason, when you mentioned the two backs, do you think that it's going to be a case where, and of course, it's a fluid situation. If one guy's hot, another guy gets nicked up, but can still play, that changes the dynamic, those sorts of things. But right out of the gate, do you think that's a 50-50 split in terms of workload distribution? How do you think they're going to use those guys? Or are you leaning one way or the other with Barnes and Sawchuk? I know Barnes had the much bigger season and Sawchuk came on late in the bowl game, but how they're going to be used this year?
It seems to me like it's kind of like the same as what you saw last year. Eric Gray was being, FLBV's in here doing what he does, talking about the O-line. They produced over 2,000 rushing yards a year ago, though, between Eric Gray and Javontae Barnes. What you saw to Sawchuk was at the end when Barnes had opted out because he was going to the draft. Sawchuk comes in and proves to be a game breaker. I think that Javontae's more of that between the tackles hard runner, that he's going to get those hard yards. I think that he does have that breakaway ability. I mean, we know we saw it from him in high school in Las Vegas. The fact of it is, I would suspect you're going to see a little bit of both, but it almost feels like you're going to end up seeing whoever's got the hot hand is going to probably get more that day, depending on what they're keying on and the way that their game plan's going. And that's a beautiful thing, right? No, Gray went into the draft. Eric Gray. But I mean, I think Hank's right. It's going to be very hard to keep Sawchuk on the sideline for much because of the fact that he is that tear the top off of the defense type of guy. Whether you hit him out of the backfield with a pass or, you just get him in space and watch him take off. In any event, yeah, if I said Barnes, my bad, Eric Gray went to the draft. Obviously, Javontae Barnes was a freshman, as was Sawchuk. So we're talking about two sophomores. And again, you still have two capable backs that are coming in as freshmen this season that I would suspect are going to get some opportunities as well. Not to mention, some of the other guys that, they had gotten through either JUCO or, from the last few years. And again, Marcus Majors is a guy that if he can be healthy, there's no way they don't utilize him because he's that kind of electric back that, if he's healthy, anytime that you start drawing any comparison, whether it's physically or whatever, to Adrian Peterson, you want to see the guy in the game, right? I think that they could go by running back by committee. I wouldn't lie to you, Mark, and tell you that I could understand pick out what their splits are going to be because there's no telling. I think that they're all special in their own way. I think that Sawchuk is definitely the fastest out of them. You might throw Hollywood Smothers in there as well as being that kind of guy. But Caleb Hicks, out of Denton Ryan, that guy, he looked the part in the spring game as well, and he's got speed and ability to break tackles as well. You can never really tell with them, and that's why I said this depth in that room is off the charts. It really is. It's off the charts. And we're not even talking about the guys that they're going to be bringing in after this season. I mean, I can't even imagine trying to figure out how to split that thing up if these guys all get going at the same time.
Good problems to have for the
Definitely.
Sooners coming up